Good morning, Mount Olive Church and friends of Mount Olive Church. Andrew Short here with you, filling in for John Mullins on this Friday. Hopefully, you are having a great Friday and a great week. Going to continue on with devotions here this morning from Brother Jason's message on Sunday. Really enjoyed that. Great job by Brother Jason. And also, as a side note, if you get a chance, if you didn't catch it on Wednesday, Brother Jason spoke on Wednesday night too, and did a really fantastic job. Really has stuck with me from Wednesday night service there. If you've not got a chance to watch that, go back and watch it. And of course, Sunday as well. And the rest of the guys' devotions this week have been awesome. Just a really good week of the study here, and really enjoyed the story that Brother Jason pulled from. It's kind of funny. I guess a couple 2 or 3 weeks ago, this kind of same story is where I had been reading on my own, and so it's always interesting when stuff like that comes together. But let me present that full screen there. But and it's kind of funny, Brother Jason spent most of Sunday talking about Josiah, and certainly is kind of somewhat the main character here in this story. But actually, Manasseh is the one that stuck with me, and we'll get that here in a second. But second point there towards the end, Brother Jason talked about was powerful influence, and some of the other guys have kind of mentioned some of this and talked about it a little bit. But I'm going to go a little different direction here. And some of the characters, Brother Ron did, talked kind of in depth there about David, but and then Brother Jason talked about Josiah. Of course, David, I think Jason said was 15 generations before, something like that, before Josiah, and Manasseh was Josiah's grandfather. I'll probably mess that up at some point, but I think I got it right that time. I'm not real good at relations there, but that's what it was. And something that struck me, we'll start first here in 2 Chronicles 34. This is where Brother Jason was at on Sunday morning. And in verse 2, he said, "And he did that which was right," talking about Josiah. "He did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the ways of David his father, and declined neither to the right hand nor to the left." And so, Josiah was this example of, I think Brother TJ said in his devotion this week, of kind of this Old Testament, um, you know, representation of Jesus. He was from 8 years old, he becomes king, and he kind of just straight and narrow all the way. And so, that's awesome and that's great, and I love that, but that doesn't resonate as much with me, because that I wish it did. I wish when I was 8, I continually, Kay and Tony Short told me what to do. I wish I'd done it, and continually, not decline neither to the right nor the left since then, but I didn't, right? And I think most of us haven't. It's certainly a lesson to learn of something we can do from this point forward. But the thing that kind of stuck with me, and this is a lot of reading here for me, but the chapter before talks about, again, Manasseh, which was Josiah's grandfather, and this stuck with me as I was reading it a few weeks back. You kind of read. Sometimes I read, and maybe this is just me, but in the Old Testament, and I'll read a chapter, and I'm like, okay, and nothing really necessarily hits me. But as I was reading this one, this really stuck with me even then. So I want to mention it now. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 50 and 5 years in Jerusalem. But he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. And so it goes on here for the next few verses, and I'll kind of speed through it. But like unto the abominations of the heathen, it mentions some of the stuff that he did that was evil. He built, again, the high places which Hezekiah his father had broken down. He reared up altars for Balaam. That's bad, right? See Revelation study on Wednesday nights. Made groves and worshiped all the whole host of heaven, not God heaven, but bad. He's worshiping these false idols. He built altars in the house of the Lord, not to the Lord, but to other gods, little g. He built altars for all the hosts of heaven in 2 courts, verse 5. And verse 6, he caused his children to pass through the fire in the valley of the son of Hinnom. He also observed times, used enchantments, witchcraft, wizards, wrought much evil in the sight of the Lord. Manasseh was a bad dude. He was evil, right? And so, as I'm reading this, and sometimes you get this kind of in the Old Testament, and you get this list of these people that are just terrible. And a lot of times it ends kind of with that, like, don't do that, a warning, right? But this one's interesting because God actually, the next couple verses here, the Lord gives Manasseh a warning. He said, hey, you better stop. You need to change ways. He warns Manasseh and the people, and of course they don't heed to it. But here, if we skip on down, he gets captured. Manasseh gets captured. And here in verse 12, and this really hit me. Again, bad dude, right? Setting up pagan worship in the house of the Lord, right? And verse 12 says, and when he was in affliction, he besought the Lord his God. So it took him being captured by the enemy, but he besought the Lord his God and humbled himself greatly before the God of his fathers. In verse 13, and prayed unto him, and he was entreated of him and heard his supplication and brought him again to Jerusalem and his kingdom, that Manasseh knew that the Lord, he was God. And that blew me away then. You know, we get it a lot, I think, sometimes in the New Testament of the mercy and the grace of God. But this in the Old Testament here with this guy that was so bad. And so what I want to talk about is the influence that, number one, Manasseh could have had if from the beginning he had listened to God, right? We know that Brother Jason was talking about Manasseh's son, Josiah's dad, and he was just evil. He didn't humble himself, I believe the verse said. But imagine the number one, the influence that Manasseh could have had if he had from the beginning listened to the Lord. But number two, the fact that he did, the fact that he humbled himself, even after all the evil he had done, the fact that he had humbled himself, the influence he was maybe able to have on a young Josiah, his grandson, and maybe, lead him towards what things should be like. Imagine if he'd never humbled himself. Josiah would have two generations of nothing that looked like somebody who knew that the Lord was God. And so as I wrap up here, just a couple reminders that I see from all these different characters is God is using us as a powerful influence, like it or not. Manasseh was a powerful influence, whether he, as a father, as a grandfather, whether he liked it or not, good or bad, right? Whether he was building, altars to Balaam in the temple, or whether he was recognizing that the Lord was God, he was going to be a powerful influence, and so are we. And so remember that. Remember that wherever you're at, kids, not kids, your workplace, you're a powerful influence. And number two, no matter where you're at, whether you're right where you need to be, whether you know that the Lord is God, you've accepted that or not, God can use you as a powerful influence for his good if you'll let him, if you'll recognize that he is God. And I'm certainly glad that has been able to use me. That's example enough that he can use anyone if you'll allow him. He can use you as a powerful influence no matter where you're at if you'll just accept him. Number three, if you're allowing God, I thought this is something that kind of hit me. If you are allowing God to use you to be a powerful influence, remember to be thankful that he is. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve for the God of all the heavens to be using me as a powerful influence in the lives of kids every day. And in this type of scenario, I don't deserve that. Neither does any of the rest of us, but I know I don't. But I'm certainly thankful that he is, and I'm thankful to him. And so that's just kind of a reminder today that we are powerful influences, whether we like it or not. And so just remember that as we go today. Be a powerful influence. Share the gospel with someone today and be a powerful influence in their life. Love you guys. Hope you have a great day, great weekend. Hope to see you Sunday. Have a good day.